This is a video overview of the Omnisye growth system that we are building a prototype for the Mid-Ohio Food Collective at their farm in the Hilltop in Columbus, Ohio. In this video, we'll be going over the various components and how it works so that we can work together to end hunger. This first scene is a representation of what it would look like if you're walking straight into or straight towards the growth system itself. The brown at the bottom represents dirt, as this is a 3D model and the system is partially in the ground and partially above the ground. You can see the various components of which we're going to be going over in the rest of the video. This next scene, we have a closer view of the system from the ground level. What you see is a moat that is 4.5 feet deep by 4.5 feet wide and about 25 feet all the way around the outer edge. That leads us to around 1,100 cubic feet of water, or around 8,300 gallons of water. The moat is dug into the ground for two reasons. Number one, structural support and ease of building, and then the other is thermal mass to allow for greater stability of temperature for the fish in the moat. The entirety of the structure, including the moat, is around 625 square feet of food growing space. Next, we have an overhead view of the crop growing beds. In the diagram, this is technically only 144 square feet of growing space. However, because of the way that these are built, the system can utilize both horizontal and vertical space to maximize food production. Zooming out a bit further, and you can see the main watering system for the crops themselves. This fountain pulls water from the moat, which, because of the scientific processes involved, is a very nutrient-dense water, by which fish waste is turned into plant nutrients. The water alone isn't enough to properly feed these crops, which is why the soil that we're planting these crops in is designed to mimic the most fertile soils that you can find on planet Earth. The combination of nutrient-rich water and nutrient-rich soil should lead to not only a higher quantity of food produced, but also a higher quality of food as well. Utilizing these natural fertilization methods, along with intentional nutrient companion planting plans, will ensure that each crop gets the maximum benefit from the available nutrients and should lead to increased nutrient-dense food production. Another layer of added security is a part of what you're seeing right here. The nutrients that we take from the moat water is actually toxic for the fish. So the plants utilize what is toxic for the fish water for their own growth. And then it goes through 3 processes of filtration before coming back into the moat through these waterfalls. The first layer simply takes the water from the plants and puts it into a bacteria-rich filtration system. This bacteria is what is used to turn the fish waste into plant nutrients. The second layer is actually fish solid waste filtration, which just needs to be removed from the system. After the water has filtered out solid waste and has reintroduced bacteria richness to the water once more, the water is finally pumped back into the system through these waterfall systems. These waterfalls not only keep water flowing, which is important for maintaining a healthy aquatic environment, but also introduces additional oxygen into the water, which the fish need to breathe. The balance between these systems is incredibly fragile and important to manage, but when it is done correctly, you create a symbiotic system of continual growth by which both methods of growing help feed and care for each other. Hello, I'm Harrison Watson, co-founder of Omnisye. In 2018, I left everything that I was doing before to pursue this for free. Why? Because the food crisis in the United States and in the rest of the world, and in my home state of Ohio, is only getting worse. Food banks like the Mid-Ohio Food Collective do a fantastic job, but they even know that there are people that they simply can't reach. And it's not because they're not trying. On top of all of that, the amount of customers that they're seeing every year is going up. Our state, I know, isn't prepared. And if the state of Ohio isn't prepared, which is one of the greatest places to be able to grow food in the world, then we know that other places aren't prepared. We saw what COVID-19 did to the global food structure and the global supply chain. We can't rely on that. That's why I left to pursue this. Here's the deal. Aquaponics has been around for a while, but it can only do leafy greens. We're adapting aquaponics and some old technologies from ancient civilizations and bringing it back here to build this system. In 625 square feet, we should be able to produce 12,100 pounds of food in this system a year. That includes fish and the crops. Nelson paid. They're the Apple of aquaponics. And their system that is, at 385 square feet on their website said that they can produce around 5,300 pounds of food per year in 385 square feet. Our system at 625, we're saying, can produce around 12.1 thousand pounds of food. Over an acre of land, theirs would produce around 605,000 pounds of food per year, and ours would produce around 807,000 pounds of food. Now we can go about it that way, but I actually designed this in mind of just families being able to feed themselves. And so this prototype is really meant to be the prototype, the proof of concept, so that we can take this 625 square foot system and condense it down into something that's around 250 to 200 square feet that could feed a family of 5 year-round, no problem. All of the food that they need. This is the way that we got to go back. We have to start filling the gap to becoming food secure as a nation. Food secure as a state in the state of Ohio is where I want to get started. Freely I have received, and so freely I give. I just ask for your support. If this message has inspired you, share it. Share this design. Do whatever you need. We need to get the word out because we have to act, and we have to act fast. This problem is going to get worse, a lot worse, and quick. And we have to do something about it now. Thanks so much for listening. God bless you.